Okay? Now, I'll make, excuse me, I'll make chapter 20 in an enclosure, or whatever the hell I want to do. Put it on there so you'll have access to it. So let's get started on chapter 20, and this will be part of the next quiz. That'll start off with the RH factors, okay? So, the organization of the cardiovascular system is, that's kind of interesting, that it's the heart and the blood vessels is all that it is. But let's take a look at the blood vessel organization, then we'll come back and take a look at the heart itself, okay? So this is the way I'm going to do it. The blood flowing from right to left, all right? Blood flowing from right to left. Now, you can put the heart in here if you wanted to. Put the heart right here and the blood's going to come back to it. I don't care if you do that or not. But the blood vessels are organized in arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins. And that's what I'm going to write up here. Arteries, arterioles, A-R-T-E-R-I-O-L-E-S. Capillaries, C-A-P-S. Venules, V-E-N-U-L-E-S. And veins, V-E-I-N-S. Arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins. Now, we'll take a look at what is consistent through this and the changes that occurs in the arteries and veins a little bit later on, all right? But this is a makeup of the cardiovascular system that we have. The apex is the point of the heart. Now, of course my heart isn't this big, but anyway, no human's heart is this big. Cow's heart would be about, a big horse, maybe a 1,200, 1,400 pound horse would have a heart about this big. But the apex is the point over here. The base, I don't think they even have base on here, do they? Mediastinum. Mediastinum is where the heart sits. We've covered mediastinum before. Mediastinum is a piece of connective tissue that separates the right lung from the left lung, okay? So we have a complete mediastinum, or give me the definition from the text is fine. Pericardium has to do with the cavity that the heart sits in, and a pericarditis is inflammation of the pericardial cavity itself. All right, I don't have any additional definitions on that right there. Now the apex of the heart, the position of the heart, actually has an axis to it. Not a whole lot of degree of rotation right here, but it is more pendulous when your stomach is empty. It's more horizontal when your stomach is full. Now I don't know how much to make of this right here, but I do know that it affects some of us as far as when we have a full stomach right here. It can alter our blood, our heart rate, okay? I know when I've had my stomach full right here, I can go into AFib. When I had AFib, I don't even have the damn thing anymore, which is okay with me. Pendulous, stomach is empty, more flattened, more horizontal when the stomach is full. So what influences the apex of the heart? Position of the apex, the fullness of the stomach, okay? May not be able to make a thing in the world out of that later on. May not, I don't know. The blood flow through the heart itself. Well, I'm not going to look at those chambers right there. I'm just going to draw a box up here. So hang in here with me for just a few seconds. I want you to include the valves that we go through. Right side, left side, right side, left side. And we have atria and we have ventricles. Atria and ventricles, A's and V's right here, okay? Atrias and ventricles. Well, we're going to start off with the blood flow to the right atria, okay? So, the vena cavas are going to bring the blood flow to the heart. So, my objective reads right here, trace the blood flow through the heart. Start off with the vena cavas, VCs. VCs over here. Brings into the right atria. Brings into the right atria right here. From the right atria, the blood is going to go to the right ventricle. Right ventricle. You can abbreviate RV if you like right here. But there's a valve. Now I know the valves have different names right here. Bicuspid, tricuspid, mitral. I'm going to name the valve for its location. The valve between the right atrium and right ventricle is going to be called the right AV valve. Right AV valve. And I'll be looking for this in your answer. Right AV valve. AV stands for atrioventricular, right AV valve. From the right ventricle right here, it's going to go to the lungs. Or the pulmonary system, if you want to think of it right here. The valve that it goes through is the pulmonic valve, P-U-L-M-O-N-I-C valve. P-U-L-M-O-N-I-C valve. To the lungs. To the lungs, it's going to come back to the left atria. From the left atria, the left AV, left ventricle. Now, the right side of the heart and the left side of the heart are mirror images of each other. If there's a right AV valve, there's a left AV valve, right? Left AV valve. On the left ventricle, the aorta. A-O-R-T-A. There's a valve here called the aortic valve. A-O-R-T-I-C valve. Now, if you want to give me mitral valve, tricuspid, bicuspid, that's okay too. Put them in the right place right there. But these are the valves that I'm going to use, all right? Okay. The three layers of the heart wall are the endocardium, the myocardium, and the epicardium. Endocardium, myocardium, epicardium. Now we can take a look at that. These are the blood flow through the heart. No big deal on that. Not now. Start and stop this thing as much as you want to. Okay. Now this is the inside of the heart, and this is the outside of the heart right here. Endocardium is right here. The myocardium is this very thick layer right here. M-Y-O-C-A-R-D-I-U-M. Endomyoepi. Endomyoepi, okay? Now, the functions of the intercalated disc. I know that you remember identifying the intercalated discs on our tissue sections. The disc connects the muscle fibers of the heart, connects the myocardial layers, okay? Connects the myocardial layers, connects the muscle layers of the heart together, all right? That's its main function. It's right there to anchor these heart muscle cells or muscle fibers to themselves right here. Also allows for transfer of ions, which allows for the transfer of the action potential from cell to cell. So I got a couple of different functions right there. It's going to anchor, it's going to allow the ion movement, and it's going to allow the conduction of the action potential from cell to cell. All right, so I'll be looking for three of those right there. Now, the foramen ovale, I don't really worry about that one right now because we've got something at the very end of the heart. Let's see if it's in here just for a few seconds. I won't waste just a few seconds of your time right here. But I'll be glad to tell you what the foramen ovale is. I'm surprised it's right in here. Toward the end of the chapter, we've got the cardiac circulation and the fetal cardiac circulation. I might as well go ahead and touch on that right now. I hadn't planned on doing it, but I'm going to waste just another moment of your time as far as cardiac circulation, fetal circulation. I don't really see it right here, okay? Well, we might as well add on here the fetal bypasses, all right? The fetal bypasses. Now, the fetus does not have access to the lungs. So we want lung bypasses, and we're going to have two lung bypasses right here. So the first one is the foramen ovale. Let me tell you, we're going to list this as discuss the fetal bypasses. That's the way I want you to list it. All right, now fetal bypasses. Fetal bypasses. All right. Two of them for the lungs, and one is for the liver. Now, when the blood flows into the heart of a fetus right there, it goes from the right atria to the left atria right there. There's a hole between the right atria and the left atria. It's called the foramen ovale. Foramen ovale connects the right atria to the left atria, so that bypasses the pulmonary system right here. So foramen ovale connects the right atria to the left atria. Now, once you're born, the circuit is going to scar over and become the fossa ovalis. This becomes the fossa ovalis after you're born, probably within about a week or so. So your baby's going to be kind of bluish tint for a few days right there. Don't freak out, it's normal. After about a week or so, if it's still bluish, then the fossa ovalis needs a little help closing. So the foramen ovale scars over and becomes a fossa ovalis. Fossa ovalis. F-O-S-S-A-O-V-A-L-I-S. Fossa ovalis right here. Now, there's another bypass between the pulmonary artery and the aorta. Between the pulmonary artery and the aorta, it's called the ductus arteriosus. The ductus arteriosus, D-U-C-T-U-S, A-R-T-E-R-O-S-I-S, connects the pulmonary artery to the aorta. Right? Now the next one is a liver bypass. It's called the ductus venosus. The ductus venosus. Right? So those are the three fetal bypasses. So I want you to adjust this objective right here, not just define foraminal valley, but discuss, list, describe the fetal bypasses. That's what we have right here. Now, we have chordae tendineae papillary muscle trabecular carne. Now let me show you something in here. And I could have had this thing undone, but I might as well waste another moment of your time right here. It's going to be interesting. Okay. What I want to show you is how rough this inner lining of this heart is right here. Oh, come on, baby. Everything falls apart just like that, okay? What I want to show you right here is how roughened this myocardium is. Myocardium is muscle layer, how roughened the endocardium is right here. You would think that sucker would be smooth, but it isn't. Look how roughened this is right here. So what I want you to identify, the chordae tendineae are the cords that fasten the heart valves to the papillary muscles. Chordae tendineae are the cords that fasten the heart valves to the papillary muscles. The papillary muscle is part of the endocardium right here, and the chordae tendineae is the roughened endocardium. Okay, those are the three structures I want you to be able to identify. You probably get a good idea of how rough that sucker is right here. Don't have any valves attached to it. Don't have any chordae tendineae attached to it.